she called me and she said, I'm really embarrassed to be with my lover now, or any lover. She said, I don't lubricate anymore and I don't know what to do. And I said, well, are you doing any exercises? Are you doing squeezing and breathing? Are you squeezing your sphincter muscles and your PC muscles? And are you charging yourself up? And she said, no. And I said, well, try that. I have a video. I have a CD of that. You can find that almost anywhere on my website on Butterfly Workshops. Why don't you just try that again? So she tried it, and she called me up the next day, and she said, oh, my God, I was wet.
Good for her.
Well, because it's in your head that, things don't work, and it's our head that gets in the way of us using our body. So, so it's great that you say
I love
that.
being a woman.
Now, let me ask you something about relationship.
It is who I am.
Let me ask you something about relationship.
I do the same work for money that I did before transition. I still design sound systems.
Right.
For stadiums and performing arts centers. I get paid half as much as a woman, but I still do the same things I did before, but my life is not all about that anymore. I have people that come to me to be nurtured, to learn how to heal. I counsel people. I have a coven in Alexandria with 40 or 50 people in it that depend on me for their spiritual education and comfort and support. And we do incantations and invite spirits in, and we break bread with each other, and we ask for healing for the people in our lives. We have ceremonies once a month at the full moon, and there's not that many places that people can go and be totally accepted with their belief system, no matter what it is. I have 30 people at a ceremony. I have 30 different religions, 30 different belief systems, and we all support each other. I couldn't find a place to go to church. I was raised an Episcopalian, and I went to Toro in Fairfax. And their priest actually, when you're walking out and shaking hands with the priest, he pulled me over and he said, it's been requested that you don't return here.
No kidding.
So
the priest actually said that to you?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a step.
I know, it kind of floored me. I didn't think people would do that, but this particular group is the one that broke away from the Anglican Communion and started their own deal because they didn't want women to be priests.
Oh, I see. So it was a pretty conservative group. So I
yeah, you could say that.
To hurt somebody like that, it blows my mind. I want to go back for a second because I want to ask you some more about this your group, your Wiccan group. But
okay.
I want to ask you about sex again for a moment, and partnering. What I want to know is, do you see yourself as ever settling down with one person again? Do you see yourself as are you searching at all for a partner, the one, or are you not?
I am open to having a life partner, and I'm looking. The lady sends me people to audition every year. So I usually have one person that I meet in the spring, and then we see how it goes. And they've been getting better and better and better, and I've been able to get along with a partner for a longer period of time each year. And I do want that more than anything else in the world. I do.
What lady?
But I also want my independence more than I want anything else too. And I'm working to resolve that conflict because the kind of men I'm attracted to want to run my life too.
Right.
And
what lady sends you audition partners?
Oh, the lady, the goddess.
Oh. You mean the goddess, like the goddess of all? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant a matchmaker. I'm going.
No, you thought I had a service.
In my previous life, I was a matchmaker for a while. I was part owner of Georgetown Connection, Washington, D.C.'s first video dating company. So, when you say the lady, I figure it's someone like me.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the goddess is someone like me. So. So I get it. You get attracted to men, and they get attracted to you, and then they try to run your life, which is what I opened the show with, saying, gee, I wish I were a man. That way I could rule the world. And so plenty of men have tried to rule my world, and plenty are now trying to rule your world, and it's cultural training. It's just cultural training. So is it possible for you to find a partner and retrain him and soften yourself?
Well, that's the inquiry that I'm in. And
okay.
I do have that as something that I want. And I'm working on what changes do I have to make in myself to make the space for that. And maybe I should take a broader look at the men that come into my life. And lots of them do, and lots of them have. And this spring even more so. I think it's about time for me to find someone. And
please don't feel any pressure from me. Because first of all, I don't know if having only one partner works. I haven't in my life.
I wouldn't have just one partner, but I am looking for a life partner.
Right. Okay, I understand. Someone that you have a life partner with, and then you can also have some other people. Because I don't have any answers to that question.
Yeah, it's something it's a decision I probably will have to make at some point in a certain type of relationship, but I'm not there now.
Right.
And if I do have a significant other, we will probably have other partners.
Right. Right. All right. Well, on that note,
people that are my friends, that have been my friends for 10, 15 years, and I'm not going to not have them be my friends anymore.
Sure. So what about, have you ever had anybody come to you who's considering gender switching or even just cross-dressing? Have you had anyone, do you counsel anyone like that, in couples or as individuals?
Well, I have 3 people in my group that are transsexuals, and 2 of them I counseled through the whole process. They were like sitting on the fence. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to talk to their partner about it. And I worked with them through, I guess it was about a 6-month process with one and a 9-month process with the other, and getting from where they need to be in order to take on making the changes. And out of that, those 2 people actually run support groups now for transsexuals, and we have a couple of really good groups in our area. There's for anyone that's thinking about sexual reassignment surgery, I would have them go to the Transgender Education Association website. It's TEA, and they'll have a list of local groups, and they're all over the country.
Yeah,
and they can email me. I have my email on my website, MillieKnox.com, and I can talk with them about it and find a group close to them, a support group close to where they live, because I have a network of transsexual friends all over the country.
Yes.
And I'm in communication with them, on Facebook and by email. So anybody thinking about it, you can't. I don't recommend that you do this without a support group at all today, anyway, because the process is so quick now.
Now, I'd have to ask you another question about this. Is there some depression and grief that people should expect and that may linger for a while with such a huge change? In
the beginning, I felt like I couldn't do some of the things that I really like to do, like race cars. I like shoot guns. I like jumping out of airplanes. I like hang gliding. I thought I had to give all of that up, to change. And at some level, I did. I gave that up for a while. And whenever you say goodbye to a part of yourself or something that you really loved and enjoyed, there is grief. And you go through all the stages of grief. You get angry about it. You stay in denial about it, like the transsexual that came to me for counseling that I said was sitting on the fence.
Yes.
She was in denial, and then bargaining. Then you go, well, I'll dress up on these days, and these days I'll wear my male clothes because I might offend somebody over at this place I go do this thing I really like. And when we have to let go of that, there's grief. Finally,
listen, wait a minute, though. I know there are people who don't have a sex change, but who just dress, who cross-dress. That's a whole other group of people. Or are those people, in your opinion, who really are too chicken to have an operation?
No, a lot of them do it, and we call them transvestites.
Oh, okay.
If they're truly transvestites, they're just doing it. They get a sexual thrill out of cross-dressing. Nothing wrong with that. It's just how they're wired. And they've got no intention of giving up their male parts. But they just like to dress and be soft and take on being a woman because it gives them a thrill. Does that make sense?
Okay, so there's really a difference. There's a distinction.
Yeah,
there's
big difference.
Okay. So
a transsexual is actually female and has male body parts.
It doesn't work from female to male, like a woman being born as a woman and then wanting to change into a man?
Sure, it works. I've got lots of friends that are F to M's, we call them. And they're living great lives as men. There's a lot of pressure from our culture and our society because they are now men and they have all the benefits of being a man. They get paid more. They get to be in charge more. They're put in management positions first. There's a lot of pressure from the male community not to let them in, so they aren't as open as I am about it.
Yeah, I can see. I never considered what you're saying.
DL,
I never considered this. It's so political. Once again, it's such politics. It's amazing.
We're living in Washington, D.C. Everything's politics.
Hey, let me ask you a question about let's go very quickly to the film.
Everybody that saw it and people that buy the DVD online, if they could take away just one thing from watching the movie, if they can give themselves permission just to be who they are, even for a moment, then all that pain and all that angst and everything I went through, it was worth it.
It's a very big statement. It's a very big, beautiful statement you're making. And, I imagine that people did take that away. I mean, I saw the write-ups on Facebook. I saw what people said to you afterwards, the congratulations. But they also commented not just congratulations to you, but they actually said what they got. I felt that people were having a growth experience from your experience and the portrayal of it on the screen. So
everybody came out of the premiere with, I think they were expanded, and they had more joy in their life. At the after party, there wasn't a dry eye in the house, and there wasn't an unhappy person there. There's this one girl that came up to me and she said, "I want to thank you for the huge difference you made in my mother's life." I have no idea who this girl was. I have no idea who her mother was. But my friends told me that this lady and her daughter had been walking by the theater and wanted to know what was going on.